Well, we muddled through 2 lists. We get through the opening, interrupted by people and babies and everybody else. I had I was going to say brief. It wasn't brief. I had a review of how all the sets went yesterday, highlighting 5 horses that I thought went really good. Now, as we do every week, I want to make sure I get to my list, top 10 list. Now, I think you see top 10 overall and top 10 list of the day is going to seem similar. Now, yesterday it wasn't. We had a number of horses jump forward, 2 in particular. One that I've been telling you guys for a week and a half has looked amazing, and the other one virtually came out of nowhere. Now, this is a horse that I've touted. 1, his breeding is impeccable. 2, he's a gorgeous animal, but he's been looked a little flat lately, and he really didn't show that pop that we expected. And I kept telling everybody, I think you'll see this horse come forward in August. Later in the summer, when he starts to physically develop a little bit more, you'll see this horse come forward. Yesterday might have moved that timeline up a little bit. Man, oh man, he looked good. So we'll get right to it. I'm going to give you a top 10 list from yesterday. So I'm doing this Sunday. Yesterday is Saturday. Let's say top 10 list from Saturday's drone. Coming in at number 10 is a filly that has had nothing but bad luck on the track for the training track all spring and all summer. We had a lot of people that had a lot of expectations for this filly, and I think they were starting to waver. I think they were starting to believe that maybe this filly was a dud. I certainly didn't support that theory, and I explained it quite poignantly in many emails to people that I think the problem is that you believe this filly should look so much better than everybody else because she was our most expensive filly last year, most expensive yearling we bought. This filly should simply look better than everybody all the time, no matter what. We all know, I guess, when we just stop for a second and think about it, that's not even remotely accurate, right? The old saying that the horse doesn't know how much you paid for it. It's true in the sense, in the form that nobody knows, right? Eternity Road has been our best horse virtually since day one. He was a $10,000 yearling. And then you have this horse, Miss Meringue, who is our most expensive yearling and really just kind of always wasn't perfect. You know, she was getting better. We took the flip-flops off of her after the corks and put a razor pad on her. She was terrible. Took the razor pad off. She was terrible. Put the flip-flops back on. The first day with the flip-flops back on was the day when she got wiped out with James in the turn 2 weeks ago. So you guys are really just now getting a sense of how she is with the flip-flops on. And here's a filly that got injured, had to have stitches in her ankle 2 weeks ago. Got the stitches out last week, trained once, and then ended up a little scurf, a little surface infection in that area the last few days. I opted to train her anyway yesterday. I turned her out in the field. I turned her out in the field yesterday morning. We jogged her in between sets, and you gotta roar to the kids. Oh, okay. We roared. We roared. We decided to go with her, and she was the very best she's ever been yesterday. That is the sign of, as I said to James pulling up, kind of jokingly, but not really, you know, that's a character building mile. You get to see what a horse is made of when they're up against some real adversity physically and still power through. Not only power through and look okay, but look the best you've ever looked in your entire life. It says a lot. So for those of you out there that were waffling on Miss Meringue, I hope yesterday was a ringing endorsement of how good she is. 2:16 last half and 3, last quarter and 31 and 3, passing a horse, driving away from a horse, doing everything you would want and expect and hope that she does. She looked nothing short of great yesterday. She's at number 10. Number 10, Miss Meringue. Number 9, Lincoln Hanover. Lincoln Hanover and I'm a Lovely Lady finished together, but that wasn't the story of the set. The story of the set was they both passed Frilly Fringes. Frilly Fringes was good. I'm getting the evil eye because Frilly Fringes is Amy's filly too. Frilly Fringes is not as good on the front, but I want to make her better in every aspect. So I'm going to put her in positions where she's continually uncomfortable until she becomes comfortable in those positions. She was great on the front a week ago. On Wednesday we went an easy mile with her, and then yesterday she trained good, but she didn't dig down deep. She might just be going through a little growth spurt or something. Mechanically she was exceptional, but get her out of those shavings. Ooh. Ava!
No shavings.
Now.
clean up. No, you can.
Hate that. We have a big shavings pile at the barn, and every day I tell them to stay out of the shavings, and every day they go in the shavings and they come back covered in shavings.
Get away from the shavings.
Oh my god. Anyway, as you can see, we're still at the barn. We came here. I wanted to check on a number of horses. Willpower Fashion, we had to medicate. Yeah, he came back. Anyway, he came back from the university. Seems okay. Seemed in good spirits today and seemed fine. And we were checking on a number of babies that trained yesterday. I want to see if they ate. If they ate, how they seem. Do they got their head out? Are they in the corner sulking a little bit? Yesterday was a big day for a lot of these horses, and some heavy lifting was done, and everything looked great today. So back to number 9, Lincoln Hanover. Lincoln Hanover went by Friendly Fringes down the lane. I don't think he quite caught up to I'm a Lovely Lady, but the fact that he could still, we weren't walking, we were still marching, and the fact that he passed Friendly Fringes in the last 8th was impressive. So Lincoln Hanover, again, this horse continues to climb both lists, but as good as he was yesterday, comes in at number 9. Number 8, Eternity Road. Put him at number 8 because he was second. I watched the replay 3 times. He didn't get to me with Rose Run Why Not. He did make a break throwing his head in the first turn. That will be fixed immediately. And then in the last turn, I think the problem after the wire is James is looking to protect him and get him through it. You have to make him march through that turn, and we'll work on that all week. I suspect the next time you see Eternity Road, there won't be any of that stuff going on. He was great, though, you know, from where he recovered. And then Rose Run Why Not, as I told you guys for the last week and a half, is a beast. I went by Walk on the Moon down the backstretch. We were flat out flying on the end of the mile, and Eternity Road was coming. He was coming to me. Eternity Road is still amongst one of the best of our horses, and will play a vital role in Ohio this summer for us. And he was very, very good today. Yesterday, which was Saturday, in his set. Number 7, Won My Heart Hanover, continues to do good things on the track. Obviously, she was in a little easier, and Amy was going with her and just playing games with her. There's no reason to push this filly. I want her 100% sound, because I know when when we get that countdown from 10 to 1, we push the accelerator, this filly's going to be all business, and has been every time I've asked her to go. So yesterday was just a play date for her, but she was very, very, very good again, and continues to be impressive in all facets of training. On the front, first over, from the back, sitting in a hole. She does it all perfect. So Won My Heart Hanover, great again yesterday. Hard to believe she comes in at number 7. Number 6, I'm a Lovely Lady. Again, moved to the front, sat in behind me. I knew I was in trouble in the last term, and the little bugger was in behind me. She can fly. And Johnny cheated too. Started up the inside premature. I wonder if it's too late to put an objection in.
Yeah,
I might appeal it. I might appeal that. Johnny started through the inside.
It's his move, though. He did that to me.
Nah, next time he does it, he's not going to be coming out of that turn. I'm going to tell you one thing. He's going to be in the mud puddle there coming out of the turn. I'm a Lovely Lady, shot through the inside and beat me. But Lincoln Hanover was flying too in the end of it. A great set all around. But number 6 overall, I'm a Lovely Lady with a victory. Number 5, Northern Blizzard. Another horse, a little bit like Eternity Road. When he's going a little slower, just doesn't really pay attention to his work as well as he can. But when you get him in high gear, that was a vicious last quarter. First over, coming to where we was up. I caught up to him and passed him down by the wire. The thing I love to see when horses, they don't just float by, they get by and then accelerate away. You know, I want that no mercy attitude to them when they're in the race. And Northern Blizzard, he's got it all figured out now. He's a really, really nice horse. Number 4, the fastest horse we have in 2020 thus far, Desperado. 2:10 last half and 1 and a bit last quarter in 30 seconds. Mario said to me, a pretty easy way to sum it up. Gonna have a lot of fun with this guy this summer, and I agree 100%. Desperado was nothing short of awesome yesterday training. Very, very good. 2 moved him back to the front and was all business the whole way. Looked very, very good. Number 3, Rose Run Why Not. I told you guys this filly could be one of our best horses. She's powerful, she's strong, but she's smart too. She had made breaks with Danny and with me and other people in that turn over there by the road, and you can see her. I come first over with her. She's sitting on the outside, and in that turn, she kind of backs up a little bit, squares herself up for the turn, trots through it as comfortable as she can get, and as we start to come out of the turn, you see me just tap her on the tail with the whip, and immediately went from 3rd gear to right to the floor, blew right by Walk on the Moon, and then won the set. Eternity Road was coming to me, Walk on the Moon. Those are 2 serious, serious heavy hitters and they were not getting to One My Heart or to Rose Run Why Not yesterday. She was nothing short of awesome. Number 2, again, probably closing in on being probably the most consistent horse we've had in this training group all year is Beef and Cheddar. James said to me quite easily after the mile, he said, this horse has freak speed. He's fast, but he's good. I've never seen him in a first over bid, though, clear off and draw away like he did yesterday. Those were good horses, and James said he won very, very handily and looked very good doing it. Pretty hard not to have a vote for Beef and Cheddar to be one of the most consistent horses. Now that Eternity Road has made some breaks in the last month and a half, Beef and Cheddar is probably one of the most consistent horses we've had in this entire group. And number 1, though, when we're talking about yesterday, certainly not overall. There'd be no chance he would catch Beef and Cheddar. But I didn't go with Beef and Cheddar yesterday, but I did go with Braemar. Braemar was floating for the past little while, and to be honest, I think he was cheating a little bit. We let him away with it because we wanted to teach him how to sit and behave, move and relax. And that is exactly what Johnny and James did. They did a fantastic job with this horse. I went with him yesterday. He was quiet, sitting in 5th. I come with a big rush, cleared off the lead, dropped the bit again, and kind of went to sleep and waited for me. And then James came with Surreal Love. I let him go, removed right again, second move, a third move. And then when I removed, again, he kind of went to sleep. Now, Johnny was coming with Surreal Love. When I tapped him on the tail, he just felt like he wasn't going to spring forward, like he was going to wait and sit on me, maybe cheat a little bit. I crossed the lines over and I hit him a smash, and he was flying around the last turn. I hit him another swat. If you watch closely, when he's coming out of the last turn, his tail is glued right to his arse, and he is going as fast as he can lay his legs from the head of the lane to the wire. He was awesome yesterday. I really didn't think this colt could do this. I wanted to know what he could do. Most of all, I wanted him to wake up and pay attention to his work. Johnny was a little frustrated with him the other day, and he was a little ornery too. We try to. The only thing that is concerning about Braemar is the way he carries his head. He has a low head, but he tucks it right in. And we always want to have a little room, right? Because if you grab him and he gets grabbed, he can be prone to shutting his air off. And at that point, this makes it very difficult to race a horse like that. So we were trying to break him of that habit. We had a choke plate on him. He broke the choke plate in half. Then last week, we had a different choke plate on him. Threw himself training. It was no good in the training mile. I think he was just completely out of sorts over this choke plate. We left it off him yesterday. He really doesn't need it the way he's going. I don't think you'd want to train him too many times like that, but he doesn't really need that choke plate the way he was going, and we left it off him yesterday, and you saw the result. The horse was very manageable, did everything that I asked him to do, and when I really called on him and really made him do his work, man, oh man, he showed us something that none of us has seen before. So Braemar, although he's a 3/4 brother to Vegas Vacation, still had a lot of questions to answer up to this point. I think he answered them pretty emphatically yesterday. So Braemar is number 1. Recapping list: number 10, Miss Meringue; number 9, Lincoln Hanover; number 8, Eternity Road; number 7, Won My Heart Hanover; number 6, I'm a Lovely Lady; 5, Northern Blizzard; 4, Desperado; 3, Rose Run Why Not; number 2, Beef and Cheddar; and number 1, Braemar. Be back in a minute with another list. Top 10 horses overall. Amy loves when I do multiple lists.